Hello everyone, welcome to the Benstep. Thank you for joining us today. I am Shahnaaz Zameer and I'm the business analyst at eSwift Software. Today we are going to discuss about how Benstep ERP has helped Gazole Plus to achieve operational efficiency. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions or doubts during the session, please type them into the comment box and we will answer them at the end of session. The session is going to be for 40 minutes. 30 minutes will be the discussion and the last 10 minutes would be for Q&A. Without any further ado, let's welcome on board Mr. M.A.Sayeed, Director of eSwift Software and moderator of today's session. And please welcome Mr. M.A. Mannan, Executive Director at Gazole Plus Pvt Ltd. Mr. Mannan is the speaker of today's session. Thank you, Mr. Mannan, for taking out the time and joining us in this session.
Thank you, the Swift Software, for giving this opportunity and sharing the views what I have.
Thank you, Mr.
We are
Manan, for accepting our invite, and thank you, Shahnaaz, for the introduction. Yeah, so today's session is going to be more about how has the Benstep ERP helped Legazol Plus achieve their operational efficiency. It's been a pleasure always working with Legazol Plus and especially with Mr. Manan, who has always been a guiding force for our product. So Mr. Manan, we would, in fact, in this session, brainstorm more about how did this Benstep ERP help you achieve your operational efficiency. Thank you and welcome one more time.
Thank you. So,
so Mr.
uh, I re- I represent a company called Gazole Plus Eco Solutions Private Limited. We dealt in the emission control and fossil fuel treatment. We have a product from all making up into the environmental benefits and for future generation, and it's a very big cause. We are working for it. At the same time, we felt a lot of challenges to meeting the standards and making through our organizations into the best way to promote and access to that. So Legazol in-house technology we has developed to treat almost all fossil fuels to reduce emissions.
Thank you, Mr. Manan, for giving a brief introduction about your company and the line of industry you are associated with. Uh, Mr. Manan, can you tell me, uh, can you just give a little more brief about how your business works?
Yeah, we are a manufacturing of the fuel conditioner, and we have separate divisions which deals with R&D divisions which keep on improving and enhance technology, and has a productions where we take care of the QC and all. And on top of above, we also see that our company is ISO 2015. So we have to meet all the compliance within the limitations of the resources we have. At the same time, we felt a lot of challenges coming off to the making this product getting into the market and acceptance and making sure that the satisfaction levels to be met. So all such departments has to be integrated in the very challenging job we are facing before we have this.
Yeah, so Mr. Manan, we've been discussing and talking more about the ERP implementation for quite a while now. But one question I always had that in mind is, when did you or your team in fact realize that ERP implementation is required for your company?
Saeed, and thank you for you because we thought initially being a small scale industry and medium scale, we found that ERP is all for the big companies. And we thought that it is not for meant for small scale industries and for manufacturing. In our mind, we thought that it will be more useful for IT sector on any such technology where we are more focused on the big companies. When I came to know about your company and have contacted you, and I felt that this is more like we have inside. We thought that it is ERP means only for a big companies like SAP is a ERP we consider, and other companies in competitive way. So we ourselves felt that we should have our in-house software where these or all problems should be addressed. And I found that after going through your proposal, and this is not a ARP I can consider. It is more much easier format to the SSI units, especially for the manufacturing unit, should go this kind of software. We will call it as we are looking for this kind of solutions from the IT sector. And we've felt that we are into the manufacturing, so sometimes we do manufacture for the government sectors, and also the white label means we are making some sort of manufacturing and giving to the other companies to market their own brands. So sometimes we felt lagging in this, a big gap about communication, a big gap between the operations teams to the procurement teams, and as well as some sort of marketing team is not coming into the same desk to sync that all information into the one way of communication. It has been, we are practicing some different module for accounting, like tally wings, or we are making a tally. And then we have a different tool for getting connected to the employees. And there is a big challenge for us for making the accountability, especially for the employees who are working with us. We don't know who is potential and who has to be get rewarded, at the same time who has been should be the accountable for the particular task. So when I make this module implemented, at the same time we want to reduce all this between the cavities and make sure the hassle free operation should have during our process. And I felt that this was the solution I have got, and I am very much impressed while day by day when I'm getting used to of this software.
Yeah, so thank you so much for that consideration, Mr. Manan. So, Legazol Plus is basically into manufacturing in a section. So, how important is it for any business to implement ERP in this competitive atmosphere? Because we often see that, these days, because of this pandemic, there has been a lot of challenges. So, in order to restructure your business, do you think ERP is actually a much needed tool these days? What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, after to be very honest speaking, this is something has to be adopted. We, as the technologies are upgrading and the tools which we have accommodated with, now we have enhanced ourselves in the way of adopting new technologies. And I felt this has something beyond that. It has to be the need and hour to make sure that these sort of softwares not only give you the extra productivity, and it has also give the opportunity to the youngsters who are working with us, and the environment that were created such a way that there is no such hurdles between the organizations and their performance. Individual performance were identified, and where we can identify the good people to be promoted. At the same time, the people who are looking for an opportunity, that is accountably showing their performance. And during the pandemic, I really felt, really I should appreciate that, being a sitting at home, people has worked extra productivity they have given to our organization. Our people who used to come to the office, I found that the reports, the productivity has increased because of the way people are working. So way to get the business. At the same time, the people who are making sure that the business are getting into the in this competitive challenges pandemic business, I felt that I have did a good in the pandemic.
So, Mr. Manan, you have been using Benstep ERP. Do you think the working culture and the productivity has changed after Benstep ERP's implementation? How
Yeah.
this ERP has helped you in increasing the operational efficiency?
Yes, this module, especially the inventory to the accounting, it is very much interlinked, because the procurement and that accounting softwares, everything is totally, we can able to manage very clearly, and there is a transparency between the employees and a task manager and to the HR. So all this sequence from the managing the company to the end user of the satisfaction of the customer. I found in this while using this software, especially from the procurement to the delivery or to get into the satisfaction level of the customers, all has been accommodated, and we can easily identify what and when they went wrong. And on the same time, I can identify who are the people who has to be answerable for that particular task. At the same, we can able to judge whether it has to be addressed by the seniors or the director levels, or to the customers who are really getting into the grievance for any such happening into the process. At the same time, especially I would like to focus on that, where people are very much throwing the responsibility before using this software. Now I can easily identify who has been responsible for what task and up to what extent its productivity, and what where and went wrong. That is what the clarity I have. Before that, I was totally in that believing on what they are giving me their feedbacks.
Yeah. So, Mr. Manad, you are talking about the productivity of the employees and also keeping track of the activities in the organization. So, one of the
Yes.
taglines of Benstep is that what gets measured gets managed. So, unless and
Yes.
until you are able to measure your project management process, you really cannot manage it. So, what is that one challenge that you had, okay, that was addressed with this project management module, apart from handling of the task?
Yeah, I have many such incident to be shared with you, person. But at the same, I would like to show the one incident where I have to deliver in my project one parallel assignment has to be delivered before deadline or within the deadline. That is the more important for me is a government client. At the same time, the retail customers and other corporate customers were parallelly working on the production. So the making through that everybody has their own task to be get complete. This software has really helped me out to parallelly go with the three tasks with the same management process, and with the same activity they can able to meet their deadline, and also they have delivered the satisfactory results by using this, because each and every task were so clear and can monitor easily. At the employees is also very much clear what has to be delivered and when has to be completed. So during this process, not only the employee has clarity of that what they are doing, at the same management has very much confident that they can able to deliver committed dates at the same time, without compromising any quality. Neither we are worked for a extra shift to deliver this production capacity we have.
So I think you have a very valid point that you have raised, that that productivity always helps. So one of the features that the Benstep ERP offers, and I'm sure you are also using it, is that of milestones management, where
Yeah.
we track the project's milestones and make sure that the tasks that are assigned to the employees are addressed and delivered. So you also have some unorganized sector as well. Okay,
Yeah.
so for them, how do you manage? How are you managing right now with the ERP?
See, I'll begin with this. In this production line, sometime we used to outsource certain work like packing and making the logistic supports, and also the unstructured way that whenever such site of inventories are developing based on the order book, and the order book is very clear to us that how much the marketing people and what are their commitments and up to what extent they are going ahead, and the closures were very much clear on the dashboard. So in that same we can able to, without any extra efforts, each everybody play a role very clearly. Means we don't have to call to the procurement people to raise this much of inventory and make sure the production has to be increased, and then the raw material has to procure. Everybody is defined, and they are well communicated with this software. Earlier we used to have a pressure and spending lot of time to make sure that all the communication will be given in well before, to make sure the productivity should not stop, and our line of manufacturing and getting into sometime the unskilled labor, especially we have a challenges. And there the unskilled laborers are also been taken care of with this software, where giving him some sort of task or the evaluation tools which you have, we can identify them very easily. And we even in fact we have you have helped us to identify who are productive and who are non-productive also, especially for this manufacturing process.
Okay, so you know, we were also talking about the mobile app, that you have taken for to measure the attendance and the time of the employees. So how far has that been effective?
Yeah, especially the marketing people, where the geotagging has really helped us, because earlier whatever they have a reasons to make sure that they are doing something but not result oriented. Now they are bound to have with the geotagging that they have visited the customer and their feedbacks were given, and accordingly the leads were getting closely monitored. And we have a weekly or a fortnight sessions with our team where they have their own commitments is has to be delivered. So it's like kind of pressure in the marketing people there. They cannot hide with what exactly they are looking for. Means they cannot play us saying that we did this, but in spite of that our efforts nothing has been materialized. That has been reduced a lot.
Okay, so having said that, Mr. Manan, the key aspects of any ERP is reporting. How did you find, our reporting tool? Because as I said, okay, the tagline itself of Benstep is that what gets measured gets managed, which means we need to have an effective measurement process in place. So, did you find our reporting tool to be effective to address your challenges?
Yeah, we need a lot of other things to be more added, as you have told that we want to add much more in it. And we are look existing one. Yes, of course, it is good. At the same time, a few other things, as I told you, that unskilled labors and all that productivities and timing and paid off with that contract and maturing their contracts, all reportings were very clear. And we found that in the reporting at the same time, a lot of employees has accountable for their responsibilities, and they are, because of that reporting, they are more productive now. And not only productive, but they are also enjoying a lot of incentives. We were make sure that our company should grow along with our employee, and it has been rewarded for the right person, for the right employees. So we have, with the help of your software, we have encouraged a lot of employees by giving a lot of incentives also.
That is so glad to hear about this. Yes, in this competitive atmosphere, incentive management is one of the key factors to retain the employees, and I'm glad that our ERP is in fact helping you. So, how do you in fact see this ERP, any ERP world evolving in the next few years?
So first of all, again, as a layman or as a simple as an industrialist or making into the manufacturing field, the term ERP is something, it's going to be very big for entrepreneur resource provision or something like that. But I will felt that this is a middle management software which will help you to make a big company. We are working hard and we have to identify. I'll give you a few examples if you don't mind, if you can permit me.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially
please, please.
I have a lot of issues with the accountings, like TDS we have to pay, the compliance issues. And whenever we found that we have to meet with our chartered accountant to calculate, and our there is to be very honest, Saeed, I can say you there is no such a big company like has a divisions called one a separate will work out on the training, and one separate we used to do the outsourcing. We used to do for the training outsourcing, we used to do the outsourcing for the labors, we used to outsource for our audits, like that. But after using your software, they are well where before they will inform us the grievances between or the compliance issues were solved. and the TDS we're paying in time, like GST issues. We are know how much inputs we have and how much output and how much the taxation ratios and what are the different between this all the line. So where the lot of time we have saved, of course, because these are being managed manually or something, like we are calculating separate time we spent for these kind of exercises. But after your this software, I can be identify even for the vendors, who are the best vendors I have and what is the quality they are supplying. All the track records were in the one single dashboard I can get in this. Not only that, I felt in the manufacturing process, if something, the reporting systems from the my managerial level to the labor, they had access to report directly, and I can see that what went wrong and where he is going lagging. So I can immediately address, so that there should be within time it has to be resolved.
Yeah, very well. As they say, the speed of the employees defines the speed of the business. So that is exactly, what you have, elaborated
So
in detail about.
So coming back to your first question, that every manufacturing, especially like our small scale industries, we're really looking forward for this kind of support from the IT sectors. Like I felt that Swift has get a good initiative, and I will expect more to be from your company and from a lot of other modules to be accommodated. But at this time, any small manufacturer should go with this. And I like one more thing: it is affordable, because up to 50 employees or 100 employees, small scale industry is not much they are hiring of it. And for that, anybody looking for their in-house software and getting into this, it's very very tough job for them. And it's a off-the-shelf product available with a very reasonable price, and any people like us can afford easily and make use of to get the maximum offer out of it. So each
Yeah,
what
many.
I spend, I felt that's been rewarded more than 10 times, I can say, Saeed. So every manufacturer should have to go with this software. It's my not personal recommendation. They will experience it, because when they implement, definitely they're going to realize it.
Yeah,
So,
meaning
Mr.
that is like a huge encouragement coming from you, Mr. Mannan, and
I expect a lot again, because you
we
don't
will,
have
we will.
to.
Yeah, the point here is, basically, ERP, when we were, in fact, designing, okay, we in fact started with our own organization to make sure that the employees, their attendance and times and the projects are measured. And that's when, when we saw results at our end, so that's when, we decided to make it as a product, and it addresses the basic needs of the small and medium businesses, as you were mentioning. Okay, even for larger organizations too, there's a huge, road to go ahead. But still, we would, with your able feedback, we would be able to make it. Thank you for that.
So, Mr. Mannan, we are really glad and appreciate the way BenchStep ERP has been helping you in not just increasing the effectiveness but also increasing the operational efficiency. But we would be very glad to know if you would recommend us anything to improve in our BenchStep ERP. Is there anything that you would want us to improve in the BenchStep ERP?
Yeah, when I'm going through that, CRM has to be more identified, and you have to integrate some all, like our online leads has to be converted through CRM. That integration with that way of leads has to be generated from our SOS SME services, where has to be closing off. So that module I'm looking forward from your person to get it done. And as far as others are concerned, in accountancy, you have to make me more and more user to identify the compliance issues like taxation and all. And you have to give me some sort of present calculation and any changes in the policy that has to be accommodated in your software. Well, I'm happy what I am getting, and sufficiently what I'm paying, I'm getting more out of it. But it's not that it's you have though you have asked, so I am sharing my views. Something has to be added on that.
We really will take your inputs into consideration and will work on that. Mr. Manan, how likely will you recommend Benstep ERP for other organizations? Based on your experience and how it has been effective to your organization, how likely
Yes,
are you
and
to recommend?
just everybody who are looking to grow, and anybody who want to meet the challenges and making sure that they want to adopt the new technologies and making the proper use of it, the skills what they have, that has to be accommodated, and then I will feel that uh, this is a good software to use. And also at the same time, you have everything is a transparent in one single dashboard. That's the beauty of this software, because everybody think that they are not able to afford such a big ERP kind of module. But after using, and thanks to Saeed that he has encouraged me that to go with this module, and I found that it's really useful. And everybody who are into the small scale manufacturing, I felt this has the good way to initiate and make sure that you will be competitive enough in terms of your own activity, and also you are equipped with the technology support to grow yourself.
Yes, thank you so much. You just talked about the affordability. So based on that, I would want to know, like many organizations would take different softwares for different activities, but with an ERP having every module within a single tool, how it is like how it has helped you to reduce the cost? How is it? How was it useful for the cost reduction purpose?
See, the amount which I am paying is hardly a 12,000 per annum. I how I should justify this? First of all, is 12,000 is something I'm buying for this much of facilities. I really appreciate, and each module and each everything. Even you look after some one single project management, it's sufficient that anything who are looking forward for manufacturing industries. At the same time, the inventory management, and of course the accounting is already into the software, they're using it. But I felt that not only accounting I have, but all three other major, like especially managing employees, managing and accountable for each and employee, and their leaves, and their how much productivity they have gained. If especially they have went to the extent that they are already calculating. I mean, you people are calculating even hours also. I can assure that how many hours you work, and the productivity is only 3 hours. So this way, the employee itself felt that no, this has been already recorded, so I have to perform. On that basis, not only employees growing, making the company to be grow.
Yeah, Benstep ERP is being made in a way that it is automated and easy to use software, which will help any user to easily, complete their
Yes,
activities so that it can
yes, yes.
help them.
I think in our organization, hardly 3 days it took to fully implement it and using very happily till date.
We are really glad listening that.
Yeah, so thank you, Mr. Manan, for this brainstorming session, I would say. So you are an extremely busy entrepreneur, as we all know, but your 30 minutes will definitely define our next phases of Benstep. And I'm sure that your brainstorming with us will continue further, and we look forward for your kind feedback, and whatever feedback that you have given today, we will ensure that we will implement it in phases, and we look forward to work with you again and again.
So thank you, you people that who has really encouraged me to have this software. And really, I can again I will repeat you, it's a software for a better management of small scale industries, and looking forward for much more from your Swift companies, so that I can be enjoying much higher side. Thank you very much, all of you. Nice to have an interaction with them.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. So before we complete this session, if you have any queries or questions, you can drop an email at info@benstep.com, or you can call on our landline number. Will help you in any queries that you have. Thank
Okay,
you
guys.
for
Thank you. Thank you.
thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.